Welcome to my talk, 21st Century Pharmaceutical Contract Packaging. I try after lunch to be not too boring, to keep you awake. My name is Peter Schuepbach. I'm the CEO, and I'm also part of the owning family of the Ivers-Lee Group. What you see on my first slide is an orange. Seems a little bit strange, but however, our claim is that we try to be inspired by nature, nature as being the most professional packaging there is. So, a little facts about the Ivers-Lee Group. The Ivers-Lee Group we're talking about today was founded by my grandfather in Switzerland after World War II. He brought over, coming from the packaging material, he brought over the idea of single-dose packaging, being in the beginning really the strict packaging, and furthermore the pouch packaging, which was new in Europe. So he had the licenses for the first machines and also started contract packaging. Coming from a very broad range of packaging, it's more and more narrowed down as we did strive for high quality. We more and more went for the healthcare market. There we have 4 dedicated business units: the pharmaceutical, which is certainly the largest part, the cosmetic part, the medical device part, and the food supplements market. Furthermore, we have a unit which is specialized for clinical packaging, which is also part of the group. The turnover of the whole group is around 30 million Swiss francs. The number of employees is around 200. And the last 2 parts I've talked already about. What do we do? Essentially, we do really solid packaging, well known, the Blister, the sealed edge pouches. Then a newer technology, which I will talk about later on, is the stickpack. Then we have a lot of experience in promotional packaging. Then more complex packaging, such as a wallet, which I will talk about later on. Then we go to the medical devices. There we talk about peel pouches, peel blisters, and vials for medical products. The turnover of the whole group is around 52% in pharmaceutical market, 21% in the cosmetics market. Then we have the 2 strongly growing parts, the medical devices and the clinical studies. We have a part which is secondary packaging, and also growing due to the stickpacks is the food supplement market. What are the main challenges? I mean, that's what you see here is kind of my personal opinion. Is certainly anti-counterfeiting being very high on the agenda of every packaging expert. Then having new molecules, new products, new galenic forms. More and more the protection of the product is very important. Then we have more and more information which has to be brought to the patient. How do we do that? And then also very important is how can, by the packaging design, we help the patient to stick to the therapy. And certainly, as you know, as small molecules, the time of high turnover products is coming to an end. Cost pressure is certainly a very interesting point. So I start with counterfeiting. So certainly we have an estimate of around 1% of counterfeit drugs in developed countries, and going up to 30 and 40% in developing countries. It's not only the economical loss, but it's also about patient security. If you have a product which is kind of contaminated and so on, that's very a strong problem for the owner of the brand. We have a lot of regulations already in place. Important certainly Turkey, which has been kind of the first country applying serialization. And then we have regulations coming into place in the US and Europe. We have in 2011 certainly an important milestone that the French coding had to be applied. French coding meaning that you have a data matrix together with human readable information on every single pack. So now we are in between really where the regulations come into force, and an interesting period because in 2015 certainly the US as an important country starts to apply serialization and track and trace, and South Korea, and then the following year it's in Europe more and more all countries have to apply this counterfeit laws which have been coming from the 2011 and have to be applied regionally within 18 months. So serialization is just one part of the whole counterfeiting story. It's about really applying a one single identification number to each single pack which is on the market. However, there's also the authentication, there's security features, there are overt ones, just as well known the labels, the hologram labels, as well as covered ones which are within the printing or within the packaging material itself. And very important because really all the security features are mostly applied to the cardboard boxes. Tamper evidence needs to be applied. This can be either done by gluing the packs or by putting on labels which guarantee the tamper evidence that the blister, the primary packed product, cannot be separated from the pack which has the identification information on it. What is very important about serialization is certainly standardization. So there is the GS1 standard, which is the main and important standard here. What is it all about? I already talked about the data matrix code, which contains essentially all the human readable information on the right side. There is the GTIN, which is the manufacturer product code, which identifies where the product has been produced. Then the batch number, certainly always an important information for pharmaceutical products, the expiry date. And then the last line is really the unique serial number, which each single pack has applied, and normally this will be randomized. So what is the challenge about this is really about data exchange and how to apply this information on packs and not jeopardizing the output of the packaging process. If you talk about new galenic formulations, the stickpack is certainly something which we think is a good answer to. The reason is that you can apply galenic formulations which can be taken without water. Certainly aspirin, a very popular example of this technology. However, what we also did is using the stickpack as a promotional pack, applying 1 or 2 tablets, being a very handy example for having a nice little promotional pack. Normally stickpacks are based on the well-known film materials. Certainly in pharmaceuticals, the aluminium version is very well spread because, I mean, the aluminium gives a very well barrier to the steam. so the product is kind of safe for a long time. The stick pack is very often taken for hygroscopic powders, for granules, and more also for liquids such as cough syrup or so on. What we do at Ivers-Lee is moreover really mostly small volume stick packs, which are more suitable for pharmaceutical products than what you normally know from, for example, the food industry. And you see also the format range. It goes from 12 millimeters to 40 in width and from 50 to 125 in length. The opening can be different ways. Either you have a laser perforation, which has one identified opening region, or you have the easy cut, which can be opened over the whole length of the stick. What are advantages compared to a normal seal pouch? You have less material you're using. It's consumer friendly. Then it's very easy to carry because it's much smaller than a normal pouch. It's easy to open. It's very good to empty, so there's nothing sticking into the corners of the pouch. And it's very well suited for direct oral application because you have like a little funnel where the product is directly going into the mouth. And it also gives the possibility for marketing to differentiate from the competitors. A further interesting option to differentiate from the competitors is the wallet, where the blister is kind of integrated into a cardboard box, which then is folded. This solution gives a variety of advantages. One is certainly it gives a higher or more quality look. Furthermore, it has the chance of applying more information, for example, by gluing in a booklet which contains all the patient information. And it has also the advantage that some child resistance features can be included into the packaging design. There's also an Ivers-Lee solution to the problem that you have kind of a wallet which is based on a normal blister. What you see here is a normal blister which is then stamped in one process. So on one side you have the blister, and on the other side you have a small cavity where you can apply, for example, brye, and you can glue in here, for example, a booklet for patient information. It's kind of designed that it's reclosable, and if you apply a seal, if you flip this over, you can apply a seal here, and then you have kind of a tamper evidence feature. What is the advantage? As this is formed all from the same side, it can be done on a normal blister equipment, so there is no new equipment needed. As you have a cover here being on the lidding foil, you have additional protection of the lidding foil. So if you carry around the blister without the cardboard box, the lidding foil doesn't get damaged. You have all the product information kind of really inseparable connected to the blister. As I said, you can apply anti-tamper evidence to the design. As I said, you can carry it around without a folding box because you have everything together. And if no folding box is needed, you also have lower material costs. What is also an approach to the cost pressure is certainly not to look just at the packaging operation, but to look at the entire supply chain. What we do here, we work with so-called service level agreements, that we have agreements with our customers based on a forecast. A different reservation is done on the equipment, so a certain capacity is reserved for the customer. Then we give every customer the possibility to have some spare capacity of 10%, and we have a routinely forecast which is sent to us every month, which is revised every month, and based on that all the capacity planning is improved. What does that mean? That means that we can arrange kind of campaign productions where we can reduce changeover times. Like that, we can also produce orders down to 200 pieces an order and an average of 4,000 packs. And you see here, by introducing this system, we have considerably increased the delivery performance. What you see here is a delivery performance which is measured no delay and only 5 days in advance, and also quantity-wise a plus minus 10% tolerance. And as we could reduce the changeovers, we have also reduced the costs, the price for the customer, and at the same time, as you see, we have enhanced the delivery performance. So that's about it, what I wanted to talk about this afternoon. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them to you now. Otherwise, we're also happy to meet you at our booth J21, just down the aisle. If you're interested, there's also some bags with information brochures in it. So thank you very much.